So let's do a problem number 2. So a ball of mass 0.5 kg, right? Is thrown to a wall, right, with a velocity of what, of 3 meters per second. What do you say? East, right? East to wall. Then the ball bounce back, right, to the west with a velocity of 2 meters per second, right? Yeah, so we have that situation, and then they say calculate what, the change what in momentum, right? So let's work on this situation. So we have a ball, right? It's thrown to a wall, right, to the east, right? So obvious to this direction, east, right, with a v initial of 3 meters per second, right, and the ball bounce back, right, later bounce back, the same ball bounce back under the same ball bounce back under with a v final of 2 meters per second west, right? So they want us to determine the momentum, and we know the mass of the ball is 0.5 kg, right? So what do we do? So remember, the ball here has changed direction. So first we have to choose direction, right? So we have to say, for example, since we are dealing with vectors, right, which is the velocities are vectors, so we have to say we have to choose a direction. Let east, right, be positive, right, and then we'll say let west be what? Be negative. So what does it mean? That means we have to give these signs to the velocities, right? So if we apply this, then if we say west negative, then we'll give this v final a minus sign, right? Yeah, give it a minus sign, right? So this will apply in our calculation. So once we've done that, so we always apply this when we're dealing with vectors, when we're a situation where an object changes direction. Because remember, we have taken into account the direction when we're dealing with vectors. So we have to say change in momentum. We know its mass times the v final minus the v initial. So we know our mass is 0.5. Our v final, we said we gave it a minus sign, right? So that'll be minus 2, right, minus the v initial is 3, right? Close sign, close. We do it that way, and then now we say 0.5, right? Open direction, that's, I mean open bracket, minus 2, that will be minus 5, right? So that will give us 2.5 k minus 2.5 kg meters per second. Remember the units for the change in momentum, right? But remember, this sign is for direction, right? So for us to be able to remove this sign, we'll say 2,5 kg meters per second. And since we have chosen our direction to be negative, if we get a negative answer, that means it's to the west. So we'll say 2,5 kg meters per second to the west. So that's how we go about doing this calculation. We're not doing changing momentum. So this is a kind of situation that you'll find yourself dealing with, unlike the just when you have a simple scenario when you just have one direction. Sometimes you'll have object changing direction, so you have to be careful with how you in terms of choosing direction. Otherwise you'll get your answers wrong if you don't choose direction. So with this example, I wanted to show you that always be careful when dealing with such scenario that you have to choose direction, because they're dealing with vectors. I hope guys make sense. Cheers.